Let's discuss imposter syndrome in medical school. So, I'm heading into my final year of medical school, and imposter syndrome is something that I've dealt with pretty much up until my fourth year. And it's something that I think a lot of other students will face. And I think it's something which you can overcome. And I did in my case. So I just want to discuss a bit about how it developed in my case and how I eventually overcame it. Essentially, for me, growing up where I grew up, getting into medical school in the first place was a major achievement. And when people who didn't know that I got into medical school heard it, for a lot of them it was a big surprise. In the area I grew up, it's kind of pretty much unheard of that someone from my background in the area I live in would end up going to medical school, especially if it's a guy. So, heading into medical school, rather than me understanding that I'm in medical school because I deserve to be there, it was a competitive process. I needed to do well in my A levels, in my UCAT, in my interviews to get to this stage. It wasn't just something that was handed to me. Rather than me recognizing that, I kind of went in there. It is not a bad thing to be grateful, but I should have given myself more credit. And going in there, I kind of felt like the people there were just like way smarter than me. And it took until my first exam in medical school for me to kind of recognize that that wasn't the case. The first exam we had a distribution curve which shows how you are compared to the year group. And in my first exam, comparatively, I done better than most of the year group, which really took me back. I was really surprised because I felt like I was barely just scraping by. But statistically speaking, when I got rid of my own biases and I just looked purely at the numbers, I was doing better than most of the year group. But even despite that, I still felt like the other students were better than me. It's a strange thing to say, but I just felt like they knew more than me. They always knew more than me. I'm someone whereby if I don't know something, I will make it clear. I will say, I don't know it. Can you please explain this to me? Even if I sound dumb in the moment, I'll put my hand up and I'll say, I don't understand. Can you explain this? And a lot of the students were not doing things like that. And to me, the way it came across is like everybody knows stuff and I just happen to not know it. And that was a theme that I felt, and it took until the year I just completed my fourth year, whereby it was a similar narrative, except because we were in hospital placements and I was around other students, even though I did feel that way, by the end of the placement, for two of my placements, I received an award for my contribution. I received a letter of commendation, an award for producing the best presentation. And things like that were encouraging to me. I felt like I was doing well. Despite feeling like I'm kind of out of place, it was encouraging. And then that's when the imposter syndrome began to diminish a bit. And then towards the end of the year, we had our final mock exam. I done the exam and it was a challenging exam, but I left and I felt like, okay, this was a challenging exam, but I feel like I've done enough to pass. And just to put things in perspective, I left the exam and I felt like it was challenging. I thought it was a hard exam. When I asked other people how they felt, a lot of the people thought it was easy, it was okay, it wasn't problematic. And when I discussed the answers with them, a lot of people had different answers to me. So even though I still felt like I passed, it wasn't reassuring. And then come results, I ended up having the highest score in my year group. So that was a shocker to me, because I knew that I felt like I passed, but I always felt like the other people in my year group were doing better than me. And it took until I saw that result for me to finally recognize that not only are other people not better than me, but I deserve to be in medical school. And the hard work I'm putting in is not without result. It's not without result. And when I recognized that, it showed me that I deserve to be there. And I wish I just knew that early on. I wish when I got into medical school, right away I recognized that I deserved to be there. Because if I just knew that, I feel like I would have done even better throughout my years. And it would have taken a lot of stress off my shoulders. Even if you're in medical school and you see other people and you see them studying and they seem to always know more than you, if you look at the exam results and statistically you're doing well, then that should be reassuring to you. So if you're someone out there that struggles with imposter syndrome, if you're in medical school, it means you deserve to be there. If you're in medical school, it means you're more than capable of passing all the exams. If you're in medical school, it means that you're capable of becoming an amazing doctor. And I wish when I got into medical school, that is something that I understood. I wish that's something that I went in there with the mindset of. Because if I just went in there with the mindset and I recognized that I'm in medical school, I deserve to be here, then I think I would have done a lot better in my years. It took me 4 years to figure that out. So if you're a person who's getting into medical school or you're early on, I hope this message gets to you now. If you're in medical school, you deserve to be there. Get rid of imposter syndrome. It's just doubts in your head. If you're in medical school, you deserve to be there and you're going to do great. And you're more than capable of passing every single exam.